Hey guys, it's Zach from the Pampered Pup. Today I want to do a comparison of two excellent fresh dog food brands, the Farmer's Dog and A Pup Above, and see which one of these is actually, a better fit for your dog. But just to give you a quick answer before we get into all the details, well, I think if you don't mind signing up for a subscription, then the Farmer's Dog is probably the right choice. It's an excellent quality dog food. The customer service is fantastic. They ship real fast. And the cost is not too bad. On the other hand, if what you're looking for in a fresh dog food is excellent quality ingredients, but also a higher than average serving of protein, and also you're not really interested in signing up for a subscription, at least not yet, then A Pup Above is a great choice to go. They're one of the very few fresh dog food providers that actually allow you to buy their dog food without signing up for a subscription. So if you do decide to choose either the Farmer's Dog or A Pup Above, make sure to use my links in the description of this video to save a nice discount. Right now, what that discount will get you for the Farmer's Dog is 50% off your first box, and for A Pup Above, it's $50 off your first box. So let's start out by comparing the quality of the food from the Farmer's Dog versus the quality of the food from A Pup Above. With both of these brands, you can see nice large chunks of the ingredients here. In the case of the Farmer's Dog, there's clearly some broccoli, there's either carrots or sweet potatoes, it's hard to say which. Nice big chunks of the turkey. And similarly here with A Pup Above, you can see grains of rice, you can see it looks like it, again, carrots or sweet potatoes and nice chunks of the turkey here. A little bit less so, but clearly to me, there's no question that the Farmer's Dog food looks much more appealing. It's much more vibrant in color. The ingredients look really fresh. Just everything about it looks more appealing. It's kind of unfortunate because when you look at A Pup Above's website, their food actually looks quite a bit better than what you're ultimately getting here. I'm not really sure what's responsible for that discrepancy, but I was a little disappointed. A Pup Above's food still looks better than a lot of the other fresh dog food out there, but really not quite what I was expecting. So a little bit disappointing in that regard, I would say. And that's pretty much the case for each of the three recipes here from these brands. I'm going to move on to smelling and actually tasting each one of these recipes side by side so we can know, beyond the appearance, how they actually stack up with each other. So since I was just talking about the turkey, we might as well start there. So I'm going to start here with A Pup Above's turkey recipe, and I'm just going to give it a smell and then a taste, and I'll let you know what I think. So just like the last time I tried out the Farmer's Dog, it smells really nice. It smells like turkey. It reminds me of Thanksgiving leftovers. There's not much other flavor going on there. It's very pure and it smells appetizing, I would say. So I'll go ahead and give that a taste. And as with my previous experiences, that tastes really good. It tastes just like turkey, and it doesn't taste anything like dog food. It pretty much tastes like human food. So for comparison, let's check out the turkey recipe from A Pup Above. Right away, what strikes me with A Pup Above's recipes, and this one in particular that I'm smelling, is they have an aromatic component to the aroma. There's definitely some herbs in there. I believe it was like thyme and parsley, if I remember correctly from the back of the bag. It may even vary based on recipe to recipe, but unlike the Farmer's Dog, you definitely smell a little bit more going on than simply just the meat. You might like it, you might not. Your dog might like that, they might not. That is what it is. So let's go ahead and give this turkey recipe from A Pup Above a taste here. Yep, and again, as with my previous experience, that also tastes really good. It's quite different from the Farmer's Dog. What you're getting with the Farmer's Dog turkey recipe is definitely a clean flavor profile. You really taste that turkey, and it tastes really nice and really fresh. What you're getting with A Pup Above is a bit more of a herbal, spicy flavor profile. I'm not even necessarily sure I can tell certainly that it's turkey, but it does taste great. It's all flavors that I like. Definitely a little bit more on the herbal side though. There's definitely more going on with the flavors in A Pup Above's turkey recipe. So I didn't mention the name of the turkey recipe from A Pup Above, and that is the turkey paella. All right, let's move on to next up the pork recipes from each of these companies, and we'll start with the Farmer's Dog. So once again, the smell here with the Farmer's Dog's pork recipe is very straightforward, very clean. There's really not any sort of pronounced smell that's sort of dominating the aromatic spectrum at all. So let's go ahead and taste the pork recipe. And as before, that tastes really nice. I would say that it's a little bit less clean than the turkey recipe. I'm guessing that they use some organ meat in this one. That may not be the case, but don't quote me on that. But all in all, it tastes very clean, very good. Again, not a lot of complementary flavors there. It's pretty much just the pork that you're tasting. The texture's excellent. You can taste the whole ingredients. You can feel your teeth chewing through them. It's a nice, pleasant eating experience, I would say. So let's try A Pup Above pork recipe. They call it the Porky's Luau. Excellent. So that's really nice. And again, there is a bit more of an herbal flavor profile with A Pup Above's recipes here. I think actually in this case, I like the pork recipe from A Pup Above more so than the pork recipe from the Farmer's Dog. So we're 1 for 1. So I guess the tiebreaker comes down to the beef here. Let's start over with the Farmer's Dog's beef recipe. Once again, that pretty much smells just like ground beef. Not much going on there beyond that. Let's give it a taste. So as with the other recipes from the Farmer's Dog, it's a very clean flavor. Tastes like ground beef. It's nice, it's pleasant, it's fresh. It doesn't taste like dog food at all. No complaints there, absolutely. It tastes like a ground beef recipe. The texture's nice. You can feel the whole lentils in there, nice chunks of ingredients. Definitely, it's a pleasure to eat. So let's see how A Pup Above's beef recipe compares. And they call this one the Texas beef stew. You can see nice whole peas in this one. So same story here with the beef recipe from A Pup Above. What really comes through is the herbal flavor profile. It's quite prominent. Again, it's pleasant. I would say in this one, it's perhaps a little bit too strong. It's more strong than the other 3 recipes. It's still pleasant, it's just a little bit overpowering compared to the other flavors in the balance. The texture's nice overall here as well, and quite happy with it. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I like the beef recipe from the Farmer's Dog or A Pup Above more. And if I don't declare an outright winner, I guess that means we're at a stalemate here. So just a few more things to note about quality before we move on is that both of these companies use whole ingredients in their recipes, and they add in nutrient supplements to make sure that the foods comply with AAFCO standards. Both of these companies use recipes that are formulated by veterinary nutritionists, although the Farmer's Dog does make a point of saying that their veterinary nutritionists are board certified, and that hasn't come up as far as I've seen with A Pup Above. And both of these companies use USDA inspected kitchens to make their fresh dog food, which is one of several factors that leads to this being human grade food. And then in terms of nutrition, the biggest thing that I look at is protein content. The protein content in the Farmer's Dog recipes ranges from about 8 to 11% as fed, whereas the protein content in A Pup Above's recipes ranges from 13 to 14% as fed. So there's no question that your dog's getting more of that high quality protein with A Pup Above's recipes than you are with the Farmer's Dog. I'll note that the Farmer's Dog's protein contents are fairly standard amongst what you see in the fresh dog food industry, and A Pup Above is definitely on the higher end of the spectrum. Alright, so now let's talk a bit about how convenient these fresh dog food brands are for pet owners themselves. The first thing to point out is that the Farmer's Dog, like most fresh dog food companies, does require you to have a subscription in order to place an order for their fresh dog food. This is fairly standard across the industry, and luckily it couldn't be any easier to cancel your subscription if you decide it's just not for you or your pup. On the other hand, A Pup Above is kind of a standout in the world of fresh dog food. Unlike almost every other company, they allow you to buy their fresh dog food just one at a time, however you'd like. And if you really want to get a subscription, you can save a little bit, but they're not forcing you to do that in any way. And then in terms of shipping, we have 2 outliers on the spectrum here. The Farmer's Dog was fast. I mean really fast. I placed my order on a Sunday night, and the food was on my doorstep the following Wednesday. So that's 2 full business days in transit, including order processing time. On the other hand, with A Pup Above, I placed my order on a Sunday, and my food showed up not the next Thursday, but the Thursday after that. So all in all, it was 8 full business days in transit, which is by and far the longest shipping time I've seen with any of these fresh dog food brands. And then in terms of how the food itself is packaged, both of these companies ship me frozen patties that were right about 1 pound in size. The only difference here is that the Farmer's Dog's patties are frozen quite thin so that they thaw quickly in the fridge, whereas A Pup Above's are more of a standard brick size, maybe a little bit thinner. And last but not least, how do these companies stack up in terms of cost? Well, this is where they really diverge. I always prefer to evaluate the cost of fresh dog food on a dollars per pound basis. If you order a variety pack from A Pup Above that gives you a similar amount of food that you would get in a shipment from the Farmer's Dog, then A Pup Above comes in at right about $13 per pound. The Farmer's Dog, on the other hand, comes in at about $7 per pound, so there's no question that it's cheaper. And keep in mind, if you buy a smaller quantity or a single flavor of A Pup Above, it can be close to twice that price. Of course, you can save a little bit more with A Pup Above by buying larger volumes or by signing up for a subscription. So in my opinion, with everything considered, I think the Farmer's Dog's probably a better choice for most people, although A Pup Above definitely has a few key components going for it. Again, if you do decide to go with either the Farmer's Dog or A Pup Above, make sure to use my links in the description of this video to get a discount on your order. If you're interested in learning more, check out my in-depth reviews of each of these brands. I'll leave the Farmer's Dog review right here as this video comes to an end. I hope this video helps you find a delicious fresh dog food for your pup. Thanks for watching.